Hello everyone, my name is Katie and I am the Introverted Reader, and once again we're in a different angle. This is the bookshelf that I usually stand in front of, but I'm now sitting on the floor just because I wanted to try something a little bit different so you guys can see the lovely shelf that I put together. The bottom shelf is empty because you are currently sitting on all the things that are usually on the bottom. So anyway, this is the mid-year freakout tag, and seeing as we're amazingly halfway through the year already, it does not feel that way. It feels like we've been here a lot longer than just, it's only been what, 6 months? Everything's fine. But yeah, this is the mid-year freakout tag. I did this tag last year. I think this was actually the very first tag that I did on this channel when I started it 2 years ago, so here we are. May as well do it again this year, am I right? Anyway, I have my questions right here. So the first question, best book of 2020 thus far? Well, it's actually one that I read just this month, and if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen me just gush about this book to high heaven, because even when I wasn't even finished with it yet, I was just, my heart. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. This book, guys, it's been sitting on my shelf for so long, and we picked it as our June book club pick of the month for the Introverted Reader Book Club, and I flew through this. This is the most beautiful story I've read in so long. It is so well written. I just adore everything about this book. It is gorgeous. I have a full review of it on my channel if you want to know a little bit more, but yeah, I love this book, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in my wrap up at the end of this month. The next question is best sequel of 2020 thus far. For this question, I picked Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I read this, I think, was it February? I honestly can't remember when I read this. All I know is that I read it this year and I absolutely adored it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I give Children of Blood and Bone 5 out of 5 stars whenever I read it, and just, yeah, this, I'm so excited for the sequel for this. Like, this one left off on such a cliffhanger. Look at all the tabs. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a series that's based on African mythology, and it's basically about this race of people that have basically been massacred. They had magic, but they had their magic taken away from them, and it's basically just about them and our main character Zelie just trying to overthrow the evil and to get things back to the way they should be. So yeah, I love this. I love it so much. Okay, next question. New release you haven't read yet but want to. I picked out 2 for this. I'm not sure if either one of these came out this year or not. I think one of them has, but there are these 2 right here. This one is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed, and I'm not overly sure what this is about. All I know is that it's about these 2 young people. One of them is campaigning for something. They're like, I think like one of their parents is in like a local political party or something, and there is also I think Muslim representation, because one of the other main characters is celebrating Ramadan in this book. And also I want to read What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I have heard mixed things about What If It's Us. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. It's about these 2 boys who just have their little meet cute in the post office one day, and then they don't like exchange numbers or anything. They don't see each other, and it's just the whole like, are they gonna ever meet again and whatever. So they're just other 2 young adult contemporaries. This one's LGBTQ, and I don't think this one is. I think it's just regular heterosexual, but which is totally fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, I think I got this last year, and I got this I think like about a year or so ago. It's not a new release of this year, I know. I might not even be getting the question right here, but I don't care. But they're new releases to me because I haven't read them yet. The next one is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. There's quite a few, actually. I think the sequel to Chain of Gold is going to be coming out quite soon. I think Cassandra Clare said either July or August. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that might be the case. And Rick Riordan, I think, mentioned on his Instagram that the 5th book in the Trials of Apollo series is going to be coming out in July, although correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to all these dates. And as well, the sequel to Rise of Kyoshi, which is on that shelf there, which I read last year and absolutely loved and adored. The sequel for that, The Shadow of Kyoshi, is coming out in July. I have it pre-ordered. I'm so excited. And just, yeah, all my faves are just going to be coming out with new books. And Simon James Green is coming out with a book as well in July, which I also as well have pre-ordered. So I have a lot of pre-orders set and ready to go for whenever they come out, and I'm super, super excited. Okay, next question. Biggest disappointment. I'm really, really sad to say this, but Shadowscent Crown of Smoke. This is the sequel to Shadowscent The Darkest Bloom, and I adored Darkest Bloom so much. Like, if you watch my favourites of 2019 from last year, you would know that I adored Darkest Bloom, and I reread it in anticipation of reading this one, and barely anything happened in this one. I'll say, like, there's actually another one that's coming to my mind now that I read this month, but I didn't really want to talk too much about books that I've read just this month because I'm going to talk about them more in my wrap-up, so I picked out this one. And for me, nothing much happened in this one, and the ending was just really, really confusing. Like, we kind of just like landed at the end, and I had more questions than I had answers, and there was a lot of political drama in this, which is fine. But when it just took over everything, and I was just bored a lot of the time. I do have a lot of tabs in here, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of like good angsty moments in here, and I do really like the characters in the world, but just the plot kind of fell flat for me, and I was really disappointed. Biggest surprise. Well, I'll go with the book that I'm actually currently still reading. I'm nearly finished it, but it's The Gender Games by Juno Dawson. This is actually non-fiction, and it's not the topic that I'm surprised that I'm enjoying. Like, I'll gladly read books about this, no problem, but like, I am not the type to go for non-fiction. Do you know what I mean? And I was a little bit apprehensive about reading this because I was just like, I've never read from her before, and again, I don't do non-fiction. That's just not my jam. But like, reading this book is just... it's so mind-opening, and like, Juno Dawson is absolutely hilarious. Like, she's such a great writer, and I've got some of her other books over there which I haven't read yet, but I definitely plan to. And I actually have another one of her books ordered, and it's going to be coming later on today. So I'm super excited to finish this. And listen, if you haven't read this book yet, I highly recommend that you do. Favorite new author? Juno Dawson. Again, yeah, I've never read from her before, and I've had the audacity to have this book and 2 others by her on my shelf for over like 2 years or a year or more anyway, and I haven't read them yet, and I'm so sad. But I finally have read them now, and I absolutely adore this book, and I'm really looking forward to reading more by her. Like, love Juno, love her so much. Okay, newest fictional crush. I mean, I lifted up Chain of Gold because all the characters in here are just babies. Like, James Herondale is bae, Matthew Fairchild is bae, Thomas, what was his last name? Like, and Christopher, I think, is he Lightwood? Is Christopher's last name Lightwood? I think so. But yeah, the Fab Four that's in here, like Christopher, Matthew, James, and Thomas. Love them. They're bae. And obviously Magnus Bane is in here too, but like, he's not like brand new, you know what I mean? I've had a crush on Magnus for years. And Anna Lightwood is such a queen. Like, I adore her so much. Like, just, I'm so sad she wasn't introduced sooner. And I really need to read the collection of novellas because I hear that Anna has one of her own in the collection, and I really need to read those. But yeah, just all the guys in here. Like, and Will, oh my goodness, I forgot about Will Herondale. Like, he's a dad, but he's still just as dashing and charming as ever. We love Will Herondale in this house. Newest favorite character? I mean, I guess I could say again, everyone in here, and also Aristotle and Dante. I adore the two of them. I have here as well Audrey Rose and Thomas. See, it's very rare for me to find like real good favorite characters, but if I had to choose, it would probably be Aristotle and Dante and everyone in Chain of Gold. So, a book that made you cry. A book that made me cry. Well, Chain of Gold got me teared up. Children of Virtue and Vengeance got me teared up. Aristotle and Dante made me cry. I'm trying to think. There's actually, okay, see, the thing is, I don't keep track of a lot of books I read, but those are just the three off the top of my head. And let me see. A book that made you happy. A book that made me happy. Okay. Red Scrolls of Magic. I've mentioned this before. I adore this so much. Magnus and Alec are the best. They are the ultimate power couple. Well, below Wang Shan anyway. But like, yeah, I just adore this series, and I have the second one pre-ordered, and I'm so excited to see what adventures they go on next, because Malik keep me alive. They really do. A beautiful book you have bought. Well, this one is beautiful. We love the cover. We love shiny covers. My edition of Chain of Gold is pretty beautiful. This is the collector's first edition. I got it out of Waterstones. There's beautiful fan art on the inside. There's the whole gang in there. King of Crows is a beautiful one. Well, actually, like, all the editions of the Diviners that I have are absolutely gorgeous. I think those are the Australian paperback editions, I believe, because it came from Australia. What books do you need to read by the end of the year, other than all of them? I want to read more Adam Silvera, definitely, because I've only read one of his books, and I want to continue on reading his work. I want to read this one and his fantasy book Infinity Sun. I really want to read that. I want to continue on with the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I plan on reading book 3 hopefully in July. I need to read more Juno Dawson. I need to read Christine Ricciot's book, Again But Better. I didn't read that in 2019. I mean, you would know if I had read it in 2019, but I haven't. But there's just so many other books that are on my shelf that I haven't read. So many LGBTQ ones, so many fantasy ones that I haven't got to yet. Series that I need to carry on with. So just all the books and all the manga. Like, I have a shelf full of manga outside my room. I mean, the majority I have read, but there is just like series I need to catch up with. Maybe we'll do another like manga reading challenge. Maybe, because we did one of them last year and it was a lot of fun. So if you'd be interested in that, let me know. So yeah, that is it for the mid-year freakout tag. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Down below in the description, I have my Twitter, my Instagram. Also, there will be links to the Black Lives Matter website. The fight is still ongoing and we need to keep on. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.